You've been told to wait. Wait for permission. Wait for the right time. Wait for the system to give you a chance. But here's the truth no one's telling you. No one is coming. No one is responsible for your life, but you. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you awaken the power that's been sleeping inside of you. See, the world feeds you a lie from the moment you're born. It whispers that you're a product of your environment, that you are the sum of your circumstances, that your destiny is written in ink by forces you can't control. But that lie is what keeps you average. That lie is what keeps you poor. That lie is what chains you to a life of mediocrity while you wait for someone to save you. But the exact moment you take full, unapologetic, unflinching responsibility for everything in your life, that's when the game changes. Not some things, not the easy things, everything. Your finances, your mindset, your health, your future, your peace, your anger, your habits, even your past. Because the second you claim it all, you become something most people will never understand. You become powerful, you become free. Responsibility isn't a burden. It's the door to your highest potential. And most people will never walk through it. They'll blame the government, they'll blame the market, they'll blame their boss, their ex, their upbringing, their genetics, the traffic, anything and everything to avoid the pain of looking in the mirror and saying, "This is on me." But listen, the man who takes responsibility takes control. The woman who owns her choices shapes her future. The human being who declares, "I am responsible for it all," becomes unstoppable. Do you think Henry Ford waited for a committee to approve his vision? Do you think Walt Disney blamed the economy when he was bankrupt and sleeping in his studio? Do you think Oprah sat around crying about how unfair the world was? No. They each looked at the chaos, at the rejection, at the mountain of obstacles in front of them, and said, "I will take ownership of this. I will make something from nothing. I will not wait. I will create." You see, the moment you claim responsibility for your life, you tap into the raw, limitless potential of the human spirit. You become the author of your story instead of the victim of your plotline. You become the sculptor, not the clay, the fire, not the smoke. Most people think responsibility means blame. It doesn't. It means power. It means that no matter what happened to you, you get to choose what happens next. That is your superpower. Because if you're not responsible, then you're helpless. If you're not responsible, then you're a leaf in the wind. If you're not responsible, then someone else is writing your future in permanent ink. But if you are responsible, then you can grow. You can change, you can build, you can heal, you can rise. And yes, it's heavy. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's brutal to admit you've wasted years waiting. But it's also the most liberating, empowering, exhilarating truth you'll ever discover. It's all up to you. Not your parents, not your government, not your circumstances. You. When you start from there, everything shifts. Your mindset sharpens. Your decisions align. Your excuses die. Your vision expands. And you stop asking, "What's holding me back?" and start demanding, "What's my next move?" You begin to realize that your current reality is just a reflection of your past choices, and that your future, it's still up for grabs, still in your hands, still unwritten. So what do? You do what the great ones do. You stop apologizing, you stop explaining, you stop blaming, and you begin. Would you like me to continue seamlessly with the next segment? You begin with the smallest choice in front of you. You begin with the moment you're in, because greatness isn't built in a single day, but it is built in every day, in how you rise, in how you speak to yourself, in how you choose to show up even when no one is watching. Responsibility doesn't mean you won't fall. It means when you do, you don't wait for a hand to pull you back up. You plant your fist in the dirt, grit your teeth, and rise like your future depends on it. Because it does. The world won't hand you wealth, it won't hand you peace, it won't hand you purpose, but it will reward the one who decides to take full ownership of their life and never let go of the wheel again. This is the line that separates the masses from the masters. This is the fork in the road where average people stay stuck, and extraordinary people forge ahead. The moment you stop outsourcing your power and start reclaiming it, brick by brick. Most will never choose it. They'd rather be comforted than confronted. They'll choose ease over elevation, excuses over execution, validation over victory. But not you. Because you've seen enough to know that waiting keeps you broke, blaming keeps you small, and entitlement robs you of evolution. You are done with that life. You are done playing by the rules of a society that breeds dependence and calls it humility. You're done trading your fire for comfort, done asking for permission to rise. You're not waiting for someone to understand you. You're not hoping the world becomes fair. You're not pleading for easier days. You're training for stronger shoulders. Because you understand the weight of responsibility is not a curse. It's a gift. The person who can carry it leads. The person who embraces it grows. The person who walks into the storm and says, "I've got this," becomes immortal. Lincoln lost elections. Edison burned through 1,000 failures. Carnegie was born in poverty. Yet each one of them took the exact same vow. I will not wait for the world to hand me greatness. I will carve it from the stone of my suffering. And so must you. You must build the discipline to override your doubt. You must forge the clarity to silence the noise. You must develop the courage to act before you're ready. Because truthfully, you'll never feel ready. Every step forward is a leap into the unknown. And that's where the alchemy of transformation lives. Not in the known, not in the safe, but in the furnace of ownership and risk and relentless forward motion. No one becomes a force by watching others move. You must become the mover, the shaker, the one who rewrites the story. Look around you. Everyone's pointing fingers. But the moment you point it inward, something cracks open. You stop seeing yourself as a product of your environment and start becoming a creator of environments. You stop reacting and start initiating. You realize you don't need better odds. You need better habits. You don't need more followers. You need more fire. You don't need to be chosen. You need to choose yourself. Let that sink in. You need to choose yourself. That is the rawest form of self-respect. That is the ultimate defiance in a world that begs you to shrink. When you choose yourself, you stop negotiating with mediocrity. You stop explaining your ambition to small minds. You stop watering yourself down to make others comfortable. You wake up, look in the mirror and say, I'm done waiting. I'm done hiding. I'm done blaming. This life is mine. And I will build it in my image. You begin to move like it, talk like it, think like it, walk like a person who's carrying the weight of their destiny and doing it with pride. Not because it's easy, but because it's yours. You will no longer complain about the fire. You will become it. You will no longer fear the mountain. You will climb it. You will no longer wish for a different past. You will build a different future. And if no one else claps, you'll clap for yourself. Because those who wait for applause never lead the orchestra. And you weren't born to sit in the crowd. You were born to command the stage. This is what most will never understand. Responsibility is not a punishment. It is a power. And it belongs to the few who are brave enough to claim it, to bleed for it, to rise with it on their shoulders and say, let the world watch. I'm building something it's never seen before. The world doesn't hand the throne to those who ask nicely. It hands it to the ones who build it themselves, piece by piece, hour by hour, with blood in their teeth and belief in their chest. And while most are still waiting for motivation, you're out there moving with discipline because you've figured out the secret. Motivation is a myth, a fleeting wind, a ghost that disappears the moment life gets hard. But discipline is the sword you sharpen in silence. It's what you fall back on when inspiration is gone and the grind is all that remains. And oh, how the grind will test you. It will break your routines. It will shatter your comfort. It will stretch you beyond what you thought possible. But that's the point, because if you only move when it's easy, you'll never move far. And if you only work when you're inspired, you'll never become unstoppable. The real ones, they don't need the conditions to be perfect. They create their own weather. Rain or shine, they show up. In pain or power, they persist. Because they don't wait for the stars to align, they become the alignment. That's what it means to be responsible. You're not handed your dream life. You earn it. You bleed for it. You refuse to stop for it. And when the world tells you no, you look it in the eye and say, watch me. Because you understand now, there is no outside enemy greater than the inner one you've conquered. There is no failure permanent enough to bury the man or woman who refuses to stay down. And there is no force stronger than someone who's taken full ownership of their mind, their energy, their time, their mission. So don't tell me you're tired. Don't tell me you're waiting for your chance. Your chance is now. This moment, this decision, this fork in the road where most shrink back, but you step forward. Because when you take full responsibility for your life, you stop asking what the world owes you, and you start asking what you owe the world. What are you here to create? Who are you here to become? What mountain are you willing to die on? Because here's the truth. No one is coming to save you. No mentor will make you do the work. No book will walk you to greatness. No podcast, no guru, no system, no hack will do it for you. You are the system. You are the solution. You are the architect of everything that comes next. Own that. Not tomorrow, not next month, not when you're ready. Now. The clock is ticking, the world is moving, and life doesn't slow down just because you're uncertain. So use your uncertainty as a catalyst. Let your confusion drive your clarity. Let your fear become fuel. Let every crack in your foundation become a doorway to a stronger self. And when they ask how you did it, you won't say it was easy. You won't say it was handed to you. You'll say, I stopped waiting. I stopped blaming. I took full responsibility for every breath I had left, and I built something no one could take from me. And they'll feel that. They'll see it in how you walk, in how you lead, in how you move with purpose, like the whole world is depending on your execution. Because it is. You don't just carry your own potential. You carry every life you were born to impact, every person watching in silence, every soul praying for an example, and every generation that will trace their legacy back to your decision to take full responsibility. So hold that weight, wear it like armor, and keep going. Because once you understand that everything is your fault, you also realize everything is your opportunity. And now we arrive at the truth that most people fear, that there is no one coming, no rescue, no map, no guaranteed outcome, only you, your decisions, your energy, your effort. But here's what makes that beautiful. When you stop outsourcing your power, when you stop blaming your parents, your boss, the system, the market, the weather, you finally pick up the pen to write your own story. That moment, that's the rebirth. That's when the chains fall off. It's not easy, but it is worth it. The struggle, the setbacks, the silence from those who said they'd support you but disappeared when it got hard, all of it is worth it when you understand one thing. You are the answer you've been waiting for. You are the architect of your fortune or your failure. You are the author of every page, whether you write in pain, in power, or in purpose. And when you take full, radical, relentless responsibility for it all, not just the wins, but the mess, the heartbreak, the missed shots, you unlock the one power that separates the uncommon from the average. Control. Control over your emotions, control over your thoughts, control over your direction. Because once you accept responsibility, you reclaim your ability to respond. Responsibility is not a burden. It is liberation. It means if your life isn't what you want it to be, you can change it. You don't have to wait on policy. You don't need permission. You don't need applause. You only need one thing, the unshakable decision that you will not live one more day beneath your potential. That's your superpower. Not luck, not inheritance, not the opinions of people who don't even know your purpose, but your will. Your refusal to give in, even when the night is dark and the climb is steep. Because you are the kind of person who rises. You are the kind of person who builds. You are the kind of person who takes responsibility and uses it to rise above everything that once tried to hold you back. So remember this. The world doesn't need more perfect people. It needs more powerful ones. More people willing to look in the mirror and say, no more excuses, no more waiting. It's on me now, and that's exactly how I want it. Be that person. Because when you walk in ownership, when you think in action, when you speak in vision and move with unshakable discipline, the world doesn't just respect you. It can't ignore you. You don't just live life, you lead it. If this message lit a fire inside you, if something inside you woke up today, subscribe to this channel. Not for entertainment, but because you've decided to become someone who lives with intention, with conviction, and with greatness. We're building a movement here, and if you're ready to lead, you belong with us. Now go. Take responsibility and rise.